Welcome, you glorious, glorious bunch, to episode 31 of the magnificent, the glorious, the wonderful, the Bromantic Quest. Was that too much?
It's fine, mate.
Yeah? Enjoyed it?
I liked it. I like everything you do.
Thanks. Do you like what Gerwin did, though?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Does that ruin the illusion?
Sorry. Yeah, real.
These people think.
That is real life.
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
Gerwin's around.
Welcome. I am gagging to get into this episode.
We've left it a while.
It has been a while. Apologies for the lack of episode last week. There were reasons. We won't go into them now, but there were reasons. Remember that.
Yeah.
Before we start, we'll have a really, really, really normal timed word from our sponsor.
Okay, cool, thanks. The Quest sponsored by Cobra Stacker on YouTube, your destination for all your gold and silver stacking needs.
Yeah.
For expert tips and advice, stacking gold and silver. A great channel filled with loads of real gold and silver content.
Gold and silver content.
Let's get stacking. Oh, yeah.
Excellent work. Excellent work.
Also, because it's been a while, I think a recaps.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Gazzamatraz, of course. And he summons next to him some symbiote. You see, I planted a dream in an old blacksmith's mind to create the most powerful artifacts. For you see, I can't be hurt by normal weapons. I'm impenetrable.
And the key now?
Is one loved person.
I have to slay one loved person.
You do, Gazzamatraz. The word go.
There is another I love. Papa.
I'm going to need a twig of an ent,
Yep.
a feather of a griffin,
Yep.
a hair of a centaur.
Good eve, Ent friend.
Good evening, human friend.
I see this is going to be long. I say that to him, not to him.
And so on, and so forth. Treaty. Give him hell.
Take the twig. That's your favour.
He cuts you across the chest.
As he does this. Put my hand
Oh, reversal as he does this.
Put my hand around the back of his head. And just whisper in his ear, I do love you, Papa. And I withdraw a slice of him and just put it through his back.
I feel no love here, Gazzamatraz.
Great, okay.
You were all but too keen to kill your papa. That doesn't say love to me. That sounds like you're saving someone you love.
Hey,
Hey.
I assume you know what I have to do.
I'm prepared.
What have you been doing for your last few hours?
I've been sitting nicely with Jackie. We've been playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love charades. And Jackie's real good at it. So we've been playing mainly charades.
Sounds fun. I'll pick Brianne up, I'll put her on my knee. Go, Jackie. And Brianne, you know how good Viking is at charades, right?
Oh, she looks excited.
Yeah.
She's
Let's do
like,
this.
yeah.
Me and Brianne versus Tarragon and Viking.
The time whittles down. The 45. You were the best of us. We'll remember you forever. And she moves over to Jackie. And obviously they love each other deeply. It really do. And they have this big warm embrace, but they don't say anything to each other. They just look at each other. Then she turns and walks over to you.
I get down on one knee. I give her a massive hug. You did good. Good. And I put my forehead against her forehead. And I go, remember me. And then I push her away to Jackie. And I march out of the bubble to fight Gerwin.
As you do this, Gerwin's arms turn into forearms, all with swords. And he winks at you. And he goes, now, that's what love is.
That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Just like you.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, we won't hold you too long because we know we ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger there. So I suggest we get right into it with a little bit of candle action.
Nice. Love those candles.
It's weird that they turn off sometimes.
And sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they stay there. Yeah, don't want them to. When you're trying to do a crossfade, you don't crossfade, it fades to black rather than crossfading.
God, those...
So annoying.
I know.
Yeah.
God.
Grr.
Magic of those candles, though, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
They light up the dark. But anyway, we're in quest mode now.
Yes, we are. Yes.
So just as I know we've done the recap, but just as a further recap of where we are, you're running through the time bubble to where Gerwin is. Mm-hmm. He's hit you with a wonderful one-liner, drawn 4 swords, and as you go through the bubble, it disperses and time goes to normal. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you the roll of what you wish to do.
I'll withdraw the flaming sword and the shield, and I shout back to my companions, who I imagine are fairly shocked about what's just happened. Mm-hmm. Leave now.
So, as you shout, leave now, Gerwin lets out a little chuckle, clicks his fingers, and once again, they are barricaded in a cage.
Okay, they're barricaded in a cage then.
Yeah. They're safe. Fine. They're in a cage. Once again, it's not a horrible cage.
Yeah.
Seats.
That's fine.
Yeah. But they're safe. They're perfectly fine. Yeah, then what?
I'm going to lift the goblet into the air. Mm-hmm. Take a little sip.
As you lift this goblet, take a little sip. A sword just knocks it straight out of your hand. Knocks it maybe 10 to 15 feet away from you. And then another sword slaps you across the face. Doesn't slice, but a slap. Doing 5 points of damage. I'm going to let you know the rules of this engagement as well.
Well, that'd be handy.
Gerwin is using a 20-sided dice. You are using a 9-sided dice.
Cool.
So, obviously you have to outscore Gerwin with the 9-sided dice for an advantage on what you're rolling.
Oh, cool. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
My rolls are usually really good, so...
Yeah, no, you smash it. Big time.
Okay. I will take a little slash at Gerwin then, while he's next to me.
Oh, you're in with a chance. So, as you take a little slash at Gerwin, where are you slashing him? What's your... Give me some more depth.
So he's just slapped me around the face with his sword.
Yeah.
So I'll, bash his hand away with the shield.
Yeah.
And just slice through his stomach area.
Yeah. So you bash his hand away. He kind of willingly lets you do it. And then as you slice, he doesn't really move very much. And you cut his garments. And he moves back. And he goes, "Ooh, this thing really does cut." And then he does a little bit of tinkering with his fingers. And it sews it all back up.
Jesus. I'll see where this is going. Alright, I am going to follow up with like a shield bash charge type sitch. Knock him back a bit.
So you charge at him full pelt, as hard as you can, and it's like you've just ran into a mountain. He doesn't move. Not a bit of him moves, and then you get blasted back, taking 10 points of damage. Gerwin walks over to you as you're getting up. It's about 5 feet away from you now. You see, Gazzamatraz, you stand no chance. There'll be no lucky blow here. There'll be nothing you can do to win this fight. And he points a finger over at Brianne. He goes, there must be a sacrifice. There must. And then he throws just this boiling kind of oil on you. And it does 100 damage. Seems a bit pesky, doesn't it, that? 235 health, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Can I drain the health that's in the shield into me?
Is there anything in it?
I mean, I've absorbed Xander, I've absorbed people from the army.
That keeps it from... That stops it being hungry.
Where's the goblet from me now?
About 20 feet away.
Yeah, I suppose it's going to be pointless going for that, because he'll just appear, won't he? Alright, I'll go to attack him again then.
As you pull your sword out to quickly lunge at him, he pushes the sword to the side and puts his foot on your chest, kicks you down to the ground, doing 10 points of damage to you. He then walks over, kicks a sword out of your hand, and looks down on you. And he goes, I don't think you quite understand what I am saying to you, Gazzamatraz. And then he conjures 2 potions in his hand, and he pours them into your mouth, regaining you 120 points of health. He goes, I can play with you all day. It's no bother to me. There is no time for me. It's been a while since I've beaten someone about. You want the goblet? Get the goblet. But I wanted you to see that you cannot win without a sacrifice. And he gets off you, and he kind of leads his arm out for you to go and get the goblet.
Okay, I'll walk over and get the goblet.
You can see everyone's a bit distressed in the cage as you walk over to the goblet. You can see the cage. People they've just seen you almost burned to death almost with boiling hot oil. They're not really enjoying this, but they're kind of stuck watching it.
All right. Right, so I walk over, I pick up my flaming sword on the way, and walk over to the goblet. I lift the goblet in the air.
Nice.
And I look at my companions and nod at Riking, because I imagine Riking gets it.
Gets it.
So I'm and I turn back to Gerwin. This is a sacrifice. And I take a drink from the goblet.
Now, as everybody remembers,
the fun of the goblet.
There is an odds or evens blacking out situation going on here. You suddenly feel yourself being lost. Your mind kind of goes out of control for a second. You're filled with rage, and you can't seem to get it under. And then you kind of return back to a normal state. And now it's time for the goblet to work some magic.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. What are you going to do first?
I'm going to try and jump at Gerwin in big arc blade.
Downward sweep.
Down, that's exactly what I was looking for. Downward. Couldn't think of the word.
That's a big ask. So you leap in the air. Whilst in the air, blackout. As you come to, you're in a small crater in the ground. Just small, maybe like 1/2 meter deep. And your sword is downward. But you realise that you're bleeding. You've taken 30 points of damage. Due to the fact that you have all the artifacts as well, and you've sipped from the potion, 100 health is added to you. You become more healthy and hearty. But you've also taken 30 points of damage, and you notice that this blood is coming from your head. Gerwin is about 2 meters outside of the crater, and he's got like a spear in his hand. No more 4 swords, just 1 spear.
Okay. I'm gonna follow up with like a reverse slash and then jump at him for a shield bash.
Nice. So, you slash the sword, and as you slash the sword, you lock eyes with Gerwin. He winks, and you black out. As you come to, there's a lot of steam on the shield, and you notice there's a trail, like a skid mark, along the ground, and Gerwin is stood and has taken a hit from the shield. But he's not fazed. He's like, "Woo, you got me. Got me that time." And he like does a little like spinny thing with the spear, and he throws it at you with great might. What are we doing?
I don't want to absorb the hit.
We're going for a dodge.
Where are the people in comparison to me? Where are my friends in comparison to me?
They're not. If you're worried about it deflecting or go hitting them, it's not gonna.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, then I want to kind of run towards him, sidestep and deflect the spear, and then run and thrust.
Okay. I'm going to let you know you don't have time to move to what you've got, like a quick snap decision of this spear coming at you. It's got to be quick.
So I'm not gonna be able to move towards him.
Nope. It's going to be like, make the decision now.
Right, drop to a knee, deflect, and then sprint towards him.
Right.
Stop doing that.
It's so... Honestly, if you could see what's being rolled, it's great. Right. You drop to one knee, and as you go to deflect it, you aren't fast enough. And this spear passes straight through your shoulder, and it does 80 points of damage to you. And then as you sprint forward, you black out. And then as you come to, you notice that Gerwin's garments are ripped. And there's a small piece of blood on the garments. Gerwin, hoo-hoo-hoo, even closer that time.
Where is he in comparison to me and my sword?
He's about 5 meters away from you.
Okay. Keep trying to think what else I have in my arsenal, but it doesn't make a difference, does it?
I mean, the only things that can
Yeah.
affect him are the artifacts.
What's he got weapon-wise currently?
No, he's unarmed right now.
I'm gonna... Oh, fucking rage. There's no point going defensive at this point.
You can.
Yeah, but I mean, blacking out and going defensive is a bit poo, isn't it?
It might, but obviously, if you're going for a counter, you can risk that you won't black out. And you'll be able to control it.
Alright, do that. I'm going to put my shield up and then sword over the top of my shield. And stance up. Wide base.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You just couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. Couldn't write it. So you shield up. So he walks over, and he places 2 hands on the top of the shield. As you lunge forward to stab, he puts his boot to the center of the shield and absolutely smashes you backwards into the cage where they all are. And you're going to take just 20 points of damage for that. Ryking, puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, Gazzamatraz, is there anything I can do? Do you need anything?
Heal me.
With his green paladin magic, he puts 80 points of damage, 80 points of health, sorry, definitely not damage, into your system.
Ooh. Have you got any of that Paladin's Might potion?
I'm so sorry, but same as barbarian magic won't work on me, Paladin's magic won't work on you. Whilst you're having this discussion, you feel a couple of blades just make their way into your chest, doing 30 points of damage. And then you can see Gerwin flicking these little knives up and just flinging them towards you.
Shield up.
Yep. This one bounces off the shield. Don't worry, everyone behind you is safe. Ryking puts his hand on your back and lifts you, so you're now back on 2 feet. And he's like, "Do your best."
That's the plan. I'll just click my neck, give it a quick shake, and charge straight back in.
And what would be the attack?
Well, what I'd like to do is, if he doesn't do anything, then I want to do an arcing swipe. If he does something as I'm charging towards him, I want to try and leap over. So say, for example, if he attacks, I want to shield bash him down and leap over him and try and cut down his back.
Okay.
So I'm running at him ready to counter.
Yeah.
If he attacks.
So you run towards him full tilt, and he literally just drops all his weapons. Everything he's got is almost just dropped. You see comically knives and everything kind of fall to his side, and you take a slash at him. And this time it looks like he stops it with one finger, but what he's really done is stop time. And he comes very, very close to you, millimeters from your face. He has to bend down to speak to you. Gazzamatraz, you don't realise how outmatched you are. I could kill you in an instant, but I'm waiting for you to make the right decision. The only decision that you can make. This is no longer a laughing matter, and you will suffer greatly, for days if you have to, until you make the right choice. He steps back, and he lets time resume and lets the blade go past him, and then you fall into a portal, and then you notice you're up in the sky, just falling and falling, and then you hit the ground and you bounce, and it does 70 points of damage to you. And you can hear Brianne and Jackie, their gasps of horror at watching you just hit the ground and bouncing. And yeah, you're back, stood 5-10 meters away from Gerwin.
No, just a big sigh. Well, I guess it's days of torture.
Then let it commence. And he throws you 2 potions.
Yeah, drink them.
That puts you on 1.
How much does it cover?
Well, 60 is 60 points of damage always a potion, isn't it?
So 120. Yep.
What are you on now?
215,
215.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
As you drink one of these potions, you notice your stomach hurts. You're in, like, good pain. And then you lose 10 points of damage. And that is going to affect you every roll.
Wonderful.
Well, better come at me then.
Just pop my shoulder back into place because came dislodged while I fell out of the sky.
Nice.
Do a little rotate and just walk towards him. I feel like running's a waste of time. If he wants to dodge it, he'll dodge it.
Yeah.
Walk towards him.
What attack? What are you doing at this point? What weapons are you using? What's going on?
Well, obviously the artifacts. I'm just going to slap him in the face with the shield.
Yeah. So you approach him, you slap him in the face with the shield, and as you do this, he catches it, and he says, "Come on, make a little bit more effort than that." He just headbutts you and like drives you into the ground with it. You can almost feel like a small crack on your skull.
Can I slash at him as I go down?
It's too hard of a hit, and that does 80 points of damage to you. I mean, it's cracked your skull. It's not a small hit.
God.
It's a god you're fighting. Let's not forget that.
I'm supposed to get back up. Sorry to know. Yeah, go to slash him again.
Cool. So this time when you go to slash at him, you black out. And you then, as you come to, you're stood very close to the cage. And Gerwin is stood on top of the cage. And everyone looks a little bit frightened. He's like, "Woof! Gazzamatraz, taking risks, aren't we now, eh? Wouldn't that be awful if you did the damage yourself?"
I leap up on top of the cage and go to attack Gerwin again.
What attack were you thinking of doing?
So I'll leap up and land, and then like whirlwind, that kind of thing.
What you learnt from the whirlwind
continually-
sword, like you
Yeah,
just
like I'm not going to keep spinning.
yeah.
I just want a kind of spinning attack, sword and shield.
So you leap on top, and then you do one spin, and Gerwin doesn't expect the whirlwind, the second spin, so it catches him off guard, and as he moves in, he doesn't expect, and it just catches him just across the nose, just as a small cut across his nose, and then with that, he like kicks you up in the air. You go about 40 feet in the air. And then you're stopped in time. And that does 40 damage to you. And then whilst you're stopped in time, Gerwin is like sitting on your chest. You're like in this kind of position. Like in midair as if you've been kicked in the air. And he's sitting on your chest. And he's like, well, how can we spice things up a little bit since you're not going to give in just yet? I know. And then time carries on. And then you slam onto the ground. There's 10 points of damage to you. What health you want?
75.
35 plus. Okay. As you stand up, Gerwin is 10 meters away from you. And he's got Gollum stood next to him. And he's like, well, it might not be the one for the sacrificial play. But what do we say, hey? You've already lost him once. What could be the harm in losing him again? So, let's dance again.
We want to fight Gollum.
Fight him. But if you black out,
Oh, fuck's sake.
You now risk Gollum. Brianne, you hear her cry out. These lives aren't worth it. You don't need to lose Gollum. Just take me instead.
Shout at Brianne angrily. I feel like what she said there is a little bit disrespectful. Like, I'm going through fucking agony here.
Yeah.
To avoid it. So her being like, being a bit silly here, it's just pissed me off a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll be like, quiet. And then
I think she accepts the stress of the situation.
fuck it. I look at Gollum. Okay, fist bump. Sorry, buddy.
He puts it to his heart.
Dodge. And then I jump for going.
Cool. And what attack would you do?
A shield bash.
A shield bash.
Because in case he just moves Gollum in front of him.
Tell you what, you've not rolled many odds. So, you leap in the air. I'm going to say Gollum just closes his eyes. He accepts fate of what will be, will be. And as you leap in the air, you get your shield ready. And you black out. You open your eyes, and once again, you're in a small crater on the ground. It's about 1/2 meter deep. Gollum is laying on the ground, about 5 meters away, steaming. But he slowly goes to get up. And Gerwin lets a little laugh behind you. Oh, well, that was a close one. How many more lives does this old dog have in him, eh?
I thought this was a fight between you and me.
Remember, until you make that sacrificial play, we're playing my game.
This is a sacrificial play.
No, sacrifice of one you love, remember, Gazzamatraz?
I love myself.
Not nearly as much.
No, I turn to go in. Gollum's still behind me, yes?
I mean, Gerwin's like next to you. So if you were to turn to Gerwin, then Gollum would be next to you. So Gerwin, to dodge the attack, moved about a few meters to your side.
Yeah.
And now Gollum is sort of in front of you.
Yeah, like 5 meters away though.
Yeah.
I'm going to swipe at Gerwin. The sword then.
Oh, I'm rather wrong to this. You know what's a little bit annoying is you haven't rolled badly with this dice. It's just a 9-sided dice. You've rolled quite a few 7s and 8s. It's just never been higher than whatever Gerwin's rolled. Other than the couple times that you've cut him. Just twice. So you go to take a swipe at Gerwin, and you feel your blood start to boil as you do this swipe. You feel very uncontrollably angry at this point, but you don't black out. And you swipe, and Gerwin simply just moves his head back. But you can't seem to just stop. You're like frenzied. And you swipe and you swipe. And you just keep swiping. And it almost like the air around you gets hot. And then you let this huge swipe downwards. And Gerwin once again just steps back. This slice you do just opens up the ground a little bit in front of you. And Gerwin grabs the back of your head and just throws you into it. It's only like 1 meter deep, or maybe 2 meters deep. But it does no damage to you at this point. But he's almost just toying with you. And yeah, that was that turn.
Right.
What health are you on? 75.
75,
Yeah. Gerwin starts to walk towards Gollum at this point as well.
Okay. Gollum's just standing there.
I mean, he's hurt.
So he also knows he's at no match for any of this.
Yeah, no, we could have tried to escape or something.
I mean, there's no point.
In my time being on this earth as Gazzamatraz, have you ever heard of any other gods outside of Gerwin?
There are religions and things like that, definitely. Even like Sonic and Arg is a believed god. Like, he's known.
Well, we know that he's not a fucking god, don't
We do know that now, yeah. Gerwin is not a known god.
Oh, good.
He keeps himself very to himself. He doesn't want to be preyed to or anything like that, so...
Do I pray to gods? Jesus. Just gonna kind of mutter. If there are any other gods out there, now would be a great time for some divine intervention. And I get up and shrug. Head
So-
over to Gerwin.
A beam of light comes down, and you hear, "We're here to help you, Gazzamatraz." And you feel like a hand on your shoulder, and you turn, and it's Gerwin, and he goes, "Just kidding, it's just me," and he throws you to the side. And it does 10 points of damage as you collide with a tree. He's now laughing almost hysterically to himself at his own little prank.
That's pretty
there.
good.
Yeah. And but he continues now to walk back towards Gotham.
I stand up from a tree, kind of brush myself off, and I let out a little laugh as well, because that's a pretty good joke.
Yeah.
Good one. I think Gazzamatraz is kind of getting an idea. This is kind of a fruitless effort.
Yeah.
But not enough that he wants to kill Brianne.
Yeah.
But just kind of like, oh, fuck this shit. Do you know what I mean? But we whip out the fire sword. Just leave the shield behind because it's irrelevant, really. If Gerwin wants to get through it, he'll get through it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Going two-handed then.
We charge back at Gerwin.
Cool. You hurl yourself towards him. Shield's been yeeted at this point.
Yeeted, Jesus.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck this. You got the sword. No, right, you gently place it down.
Put it on my back.
Yeah, okay, it's still on you. Yeah, that's actually way better. Yeah, so you place it on your back, you two-hand the sword, and then you run at Gerwin. Again, you're back on the run now, not walking. He almost mockingly lets out like a pulse that just puts you on your backside. Doesn't hurt you per se. You take the hit, kind of just disgruntles you a little bit, but heads towards Gollum. He grabs Gollum by the scruff, and Gollum is almost paralysed by this, and he like drags him over to you. Gerwin then like twirls his finger, and like a chair appears, and then he like puts Gollum on this chair, and Gerwin then lets out a big sigh. He's like, I didn't want to come to these measures, Gazzamatraz. But, and then he gets a sword and he places it on Gollum's chest. So the point is on Gollum's chest, and he lets go, and it's just kind of floating there with the point on Gollum's chest. And he looks over at you and he goes, and he like waves you over, like, let's go again.
Can I knock the sword away?
You can try.
The point is touching Gollum's chest, yeah?
Yes, it's touching his chest.
I can try and knock the sword away then.
Okay.
Fuck, I've got a goblin. Fuck.
So, as you go over to Gerwin, or go over to the sword, as you put your hand around it to pull it, it just doesn't move. It just doesn't move at all. Things start to just go black. But just as they do, Gerwin, weaponless, just punches you square in the face. Very hard. It does 60 damage to you. And then your stomach pains do 4 damage to you. And you are curled up on the ground. So near death, blood pouring from your face. And he picks you up. He gives you like a few sips of a potion. Gives you like 20 health.
God, it's fluctuation. Yep.
He then pins you to a tree. He pulls another sword from him, stabs it through you, and holds you against that tree. And you're back down to 1 health. You're barely hanging on. And he goes, I might not be able to get you to kill Brianne, but we'll see what everybody else can take. And he brings the cage closer. And he gives you a full potion. And then he beats you back down to 1 health. And he makes everybody watch. And he beats you slowly. And then he gives you a potion. And then he beats you back down to 1 health. Obviously people, they're like shielding their eyes in there now. Tyragon's facing the other way. Brianne's crying into Jackie. Jackie's like weeping. Ryking's just stood. He's kind of helpless, doesn't know what to do. Then you hear Gollum start to cry out in pain as his sword slowly, very slowly, starts to pierce into his chest. Then Gerwin gives you a few sips of a potion. Gets you back up to like 20 health. And he starts to conjure another chair. Well, who's next, Gazzamatraz? Who is next? And it's now your turn.
Because he's asking me who to put in the chair next.
Yeah.
Would that count as me killing them? You.
It's still my game, Gazzamatraz. You silly fool! You've taken one too many knocks to the head.
I feel like you're not gonna choose who I choose.
But we can only find out, can't we?
Do I try this or not? Do I try this? See, what I want to try here is something that will either beat him at his own game or just fuck it. Basically, absolutely fuck it. I mean, but if it would beat him in his own game, he's not going to do it. So the only option would be it would fuck it. Would it? No.
Lots of thinking going
No,
on
because
there.
it's not really a good plan. I would give him a name of someone I want to sit on the chair.
Yeah.
But it's just dependent on whether if it works and it like beats him at his own game, then he's not going to do it because it's Gerwin.
Yeah, but he enjoys it, doesn't he?
Enjoys what?
The game. He's given you swords to hurt him. Like, he enjoys the game.
Yeah.
So if you play well...
It goes so wrong. It goes so wrong. All right. Brianne.
Brianne's in the chair. Go in. Oh, who saw that coming? You hear Jackie in the background. No! No, why? Why? Rocking again. Silence.
Let me cook.
He then pushes Brianne in this chair back from you about 15 metres and he walks over to where Brianne is. Once again, he gets his blade, places it just sort of exactly over her heart. And let's go. Now, Gazzamatraz, you have placed Brianne in this chair to die.
Just to sit.
No. You knew what this chair would do.
Nope.
And she has been placed here to die at your command.
Nope.
That's the rule. And then he walks off.
Just making up your own rules.
Oh, you knew the game. You can see Gollum over there.
Ah, you've been doing different things the whole time.
He then walks up to you, takes a sword out of you, passes you the goblet. He goes, this is worn off. Have another sip. Let's go again.
Can I run over to Brianne?
You can try.
I'll run over to Brianne.
To do what?
Gonna try and take her out of the chair.
Alright. You run over to Brianne, and as you do so, you're caught in a time trap, and you're just frozen still. Gerwin walks over to you. You didn't think I'd just leave Brianne, did you? Just at the whim of her protector? No. While it's still my game, you cannot save Brianne. The sword will have the same effect as it is having on Gollum, but a little bit slower, just so you really know it's happening. And he pushes you back about 5 meters, and you're out of the time trap. At this point, just to give you a kind of a rundown of what's happening around you, the sword is now maybe a centimeter into Gollum's chest.
Mm-hmm.
It's been there for a few hours though. He's been there for quite a long time. Brianne's sword is maybe a centimetre off of her chest. So he's not put it with the point like he has for Gollum.
But I can't get near her.
No. Jackie is just weeping. Tyragon is almost consoling her, but not really. He doesn't really know what the hell he's doing. And Ryking is still just stood, watching.
Okay.
And Gerwin is about 5 meters from you. Just stood. With his hands behind his back.
I'm going to attack Gerwin then. How much health am I on? 21.
21 solid points of health. How are you going to attack him?
Two-handed swipe.
Two-handed swipe.
Yeah.
So you two-handed swipe him. The force of your swipe is huge, but he just kind of almost like a matrix lean back, and it just goes over him. This time he's aware of this possible whirlwind attack. So as your swipe goes past, he wastes no time now, and he just comes back forwards and headbutts you. Not as hard as he did last time, but it brings you back down to the ground, and it does 11 points of damage. And then he starts to pace a little bit. He says, Gazzamatraz, these attacks, they're futile. I don't understand. I don't know what you're doing. You know the result.
Then do it.
Then so be it. And he walks over to you and he kicks a sword out of your hand. And he pulls a spear out, puts it to your throat, he lunges back. And then the talisman around your neck starts to glow. And he stops, holds a spear up, turns, and Brianne has leant forward into the sword and taken her life.